Uh, hey, Tubes. Jonathan was wrong. Tooth on a budget. So anyway, I've been watching recently, for no reason whatsoever, I've been watching a lot of history of weaponry, documentaries, guns, swords, cannons, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, I had a sudden realization. Um, out of, at least two of the documentaries I watched, they made a point to mention, and when you start hearing multiple reasons for the same thing, it starts to, kind of smell a little fishy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just hear a lot of excuses. And, anyway, the bayonet. Now, if you don't know what a bayonet is, that is the knife on the end of a rifle. It's a very old weapon. As is the spear. The spear is a very important symbolic weapon as well. You know how they're very much obsessed with Athena, the goddess Athena, and all of her versions. Athena was also known as the spear shaker, because she would shake her spear at ignorance. It's also where Francis Bacon got his name for Shakespeare, for William Shakespeare, is the pen name he used while writing the works of Will I Am Shakespeare. Get it? It's blasphemous and a reference to their favorite goddess, the Queen of Heaven, Athena. Anyway, blah blah blah. As you've probably heard me say before, I think that war is one of the greatest, not great as in awesome, great as in huge and powerful, satanic rituals in existence. Nothing is more satanic, well, I don't know, on the mass scale of horror and death. And actually, yeah, you know what? Because there's all sorts of rape and stuff that happens during wartime also. So yes, there's nothing more satanic and horrible than war. It is the most. And something they've always carried throughout war is the spear. The spear has been carried through every single war. Even with the advent of swords to guns to cannons to everything, the spear has always been carried to war. The spear is carried to war as a, it's the correlation, the conjunction is with the is with Athena, the goddess, Isis, Ishtar, Minerva, etc., etc. Columbia. The spear has always been a feminine weapon too. In a lot of cultures, men use swords and women use spears. But anyway, the spear is still carried into war. And if you think about it from a logistics standpoint and from a combat standpoint, at no point is a soldier probably going to use a bayonet. There's just, the assault rifles, assault rifles and battle rifles are still meant to be used from very far away. You see in movies all the time, people like run, when they use an assault rifle, they for some reason have to run up to the thing that they're shooting and stand right next to it while they're shooting it, which is stupid. What you actually do is you stay very far away and brace yourself and fire off bursts and kill the heck out of stuff. That is what you do with a battle rifle and an assault rifle. You don't run up next to something and spray it like Rambo. Things don't function like they do in the movies. So the bayonet is not something that the likeliness, you're more likely to pull out your pistol and use your sidearm than you are to keep a rifle that's out of ammo to stab, wait for them to get close enough to stab when you have a sidearm. I mean, I suppose as a last ditch effort, maybe, I guess, but they're the army themselves say that the number of death by bayonets is super low, and the only time you've really seen it is during times like the Revolutionary War and stuff, when they still used smoke, black powder, smoke powder, before the advent of smokeless powder, which I think that they kept around the regular black powder until they got an increase in the technology of the weapons, because of the big part of the black powder is it obscured the battlefield, so you couldn't see what you were shooting at or what was shooting at you. So it helped people stand there and get shot. Napoleonic tactics led to many deaths, and they were still using those tactics at least during the early days of the Revolutionary War, until they started using trench warfare. And then, of course, once you get into World War I, you get the advent of gases and whatnot to use against the people in the trenches. War is horrible. I am also a student of it. As I'm a student of many things, one of the unfortunately most interesting things to me has always been war. Not the horror, but the tactics. I'm a huge fan of tactics. Godspeed. Sorry, there's a ambulance followed by a cop car. It's kind of intense. Probably a big deal. What was I saying? Anyway, I think the spear has been carried into war since there's been war, in homage to the goddess of death, to the goddess of magic, to the goddess of sex, to the goddess of love, to the queen of heaven herself, also known as Athena the Spear Shaker. So yeah, that's about. I came around to my thesis point, right? Okay. Anyway, love you guys so much. Have a beautiful night, and God bless you.